Now I know back in 2013 you had investment from George Soros's quantum fund, quantum sovereign fund, I believe. Obviously, at that point, they could see that there was the future was bright for this industry and this business, of course. How do you see now, though, the next 5 years? What do you see as the industry changing? And also from an employee point of view, how do you see that affecting your ability to attract and perhaps retain the right talent?
So lots of questions embedded in one. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Soros invested with us in the Quantum Strategic Partners through that fund, and in 2013. And what's been really amazing about them as a partners is they have been strategic. They are involved in the long run, but they also support the employees and the management of the company in order to reach that goal. So they're not picking on the specific details of the day-to-day. They want to make sure that we're looking at the long term and thinking about long-term value. In the last couple of years, we've taken on debt financing as well. So we had 2 years ago 25 million euros from the European Investment Bank. Last year it was 100 million from a consortia of 4 banks, and this year we've upped to 250 million with the same 4 banks, but plus an additional 4 banks. So clearly there's a lot of confidence in what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that relates to your question about the future and how we see that growth and how that relates to future talent. I mean, obviously, bringing on £250 million gives us the freedom that we didn't have for early days to attract talent, to grow. And the benefit that you have as a growing company is you have the opportunity to offer opportunity to people that join. So often in large companies where there isn't the growth, it's very difficult for people to learn new skills and move ahead. Here with a young company, we welcome people with the right attitude, skill set, etc. And we train them and give them opportunities to, whether it's take on management and leadership positions, whether it's try something new as we try something new. So the opportunity is there. Of course, as we grow and we become a company, we announced that we're going to be adding at least 1,000 engineers to the pool. So we're growing as a company, and with that we need to also bring in people who have experience in running large companies. And the benefit is that with the success that we've had, with the excitement of our goals and our future and the shareholders that we have on board, it's actually been fairly, what's what I'm looking for, it's just amazing how many people have been interested in joining us. So I think early days when Hyperoptic wasn't known, it's more difficult, I think, to attract people who see themselves as larger company people and very experienced. As we grow, we're able to do that, and we see some amazing talent joining the organization, building, augmenting what we're doing, and giving us the opportunity to get on that aggressive trajectory that we set ourselves as a target.
Fantastic. And look, if you were looking back now and giving your 20-year-old self advice, and hindsight's always a wonderful thing, of course, but if you were giving yourself advice, what's the one thing that you would tell yourself now?
I think what was interesting about my career growth from 20 to today is that I never actually had a plan, in the sense of I never sat down and said, this is what I want to be doing in 5 years. So I was pretty pleased that I never got that question in the interview that I was in. And for me, it's been about just doing the best job that I can do, always keeping a lookout for opportunity and actually getting excited by the big challenges. When Boris and I had the chat back in 2004 about my running a broadband company, I mean, I'd never started a company on my own at that point, and I certainly was not a broadband expert by any stretch, but I took the leap. The other thing which has worked so well is keeping networks together. I think it sounds obvious, and I don't mean networking for the sake of building up 1,000 people on your LinkedIn profile. I mean truly connecting with people and keeping those connections over time and valuing, the teams and the contributions that you've made and the professional experiences that you've had, maybe even personal experiences. And that has always amazed me and served me well. I mean, Boris and I went to university together. Our former chief sales officer was at university with us. And, if you had told us those numbers of years ago that we would, in fact, be running a broadband company together, that would have just been completely unknown. So I don't have any specific advice other than to say there's a lot of things that I felt my general attitude brought that put me in the position I am today, which is take advantage of opportunity, don't burn bridges, and just keep your eyes open.
There's some great advice there. and I'm sure there's some nuggets that have come in from that conversation. I could hear it myself. Dana, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. I'm really grateful for your time. What's the best way for people, if they want to find out more about Hyperoptic or connect with you, what's the best way they can get in touch?
Well, I would say if it's about Hyperoptic, go to the website, look out at what's happening in Google, sign up, register your interest. We send out updates all the time. If it's for me personally, reach out on LinkedIn.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.